Gareth Hughes.
Thank you, Mr Chair. Kia ora and mihi nui kia koutou. Kia ora, I rise to take a call on this, the Crown Entities debate, to talk about the Callaghan Innovation Institute. Mr Chair, this should be one of the key issues we're all talking about in the coming months, which is how do we build a smart, innovative economy. Because at the moment there's some great pockets of excellence happening across Aotearoa, some amazing stuff happening by Kiwi firms, and I'll take my hat off to the government, a few projects which are deserving of public support. But what we see, however, Mr Speaker, is despite the pockets of excellence, despite the amazing, smart, green, innovative thinking that is occurring, it is happening in a vacuum of government leadership. We see a government who's focused on raw logs, more oil and fracking, and more milk powder exports overseas. Mr Speaker, we're on a hiding to nothing as a nation economically if we continue to simplify our economy, to become more dependent on commodity markets where the buyers are setting the price, not us in New Zealand. We risk being stuck at the bottom of the OECD rankings, where we've declined year after year over the last 3 decades, if we stay just on the raw logs, the milk powder and the oil. And this is where the government's literally throwing tens of millions of dollars of taxpayer subsidies. So while I celebrate and take my hat off to the pockets of excellence and the government support that is occurring, it's tiny compared to the subsidies we see to the fossil fuel industry, to the agricultural sector, which are just intensification, raw commodities. Mr Speaker, if we want to build a richer New Zealand with more Kiwis in employment, more profit staying in New Zealand, we need to keep up the focus on a smart, green, innovative economy. This is where the future is. This is where we can build a richer New Zealand. So, Mr Speaker, while we didn't support the initial legislation establishing the Callaghan Innovation Institute, some of the research has been widely supported. Obviously, we didn't support it because of the direct ministerial oversight of the minister sitting in the chair. Too much control for one person picking winners. What we want to see is a true competitive process where good ideas can flow through, not just on the whims of the minister. Mr Speaker, we know we've got a national problem when it comes to R&D. We spend less than half of the OECD average, both at the national and commercial level. We need to do more. You look at other nations like Israel and the amount they're investing in R&D, we should be striving for there, because we can build more jobs, more well-paid jobs, when we focus on innovation. One little policy area that is in the smart green innovation space the Green Party will be championing this election is around digital manufacturing, additive manufacturing, 3D printing. Now, this is something, when you hear from the government benches, it's more of a border security threat, because that's where the officials' primary focus is going through the Customs Department. What we want to see is a focus on the economic potential. And I welcome the MOBI has finally supported groups like TIDA with some assistance to get a 3D printer. Mr Speaker, there's a lot more we can do at the advanced digital manufacturing sector to grow jobs. Ultimately, it's a 16% of global GDP, $11 trillion sector, where digital manufacturing is taking a bigger slice. And with other governments offering substantial support, substantial leadership, we can't miss out. We need more leadership here. We need to set those R&D investment targets much, much higher. We need to support those successful Kiwi companies, particularly in the green energy space, which the Pure Advantage group of successful Kiwi business people say is a $6 trillion opportunity for New Zealand to get a slice of that global $6 trillion market. So a green investment bank would be a great solution in the next term of the next government, a good green government that's going to focus on smart green innovation. We need to get not just Callaghan innovation, we also need to see a green investment bank established. We need to support our capital markets and things like a capital gains tax, because it's going to focus investment away from the housing speculation market towards the productive economy. Because, Mr Chair, what I want to see is Kiwi businesses Kiwi families, Kiwi investors investing in Kiwi businesses. At the moment, under the market, we're seeing a signal flowing through to focus on speculation. I'm sure Jamie Lee Ross doesn't want to see more speculation in the Auckland housing market, which is going up and up and up, driving the interest rate rises that we see under the Key government, more interest rate rises under the Key government. What we need to do is send those proper economic signals to invest in productive businesses, invest in employing Kiwis, invest in innovation. And ultimately, this is where, while the Callaghan Innovation Institute is doing some good things, where it's failing, it's the minister in the chair, it's the lack lack of leadership, the lack of focus on the smart green economy. So this election, it's going to be a good opportunity for Kiwis to debate the issues, smart green innovation or more logs and oil.
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Chair, I might say that I don't think the last two speakers get out that much. I mean, they really do need to get out some more. And I had to laugh at young Gareth, his view of, he literally said this, he said,